who was going to replace that horse as the new king of or queen of the miling division. We'll find out at 3:35 with a very decent undercard to support the feature race. First up was the listed Bet Victor Carnarvon Stakes. 6 furlong was the trip, and Noble Star was looking to get his season back in order, back to sprinting trips for Godolphin. He went off the 8-11 favourite.
They're off. They raced with 6 furlongs then. Coming out of the gates, Rumstar from 7 was a little slower than the others for this Bet Victor Carnarvon Stakes. Desert Cop and Shaquille are the first 2 to go through. Rousing Encore, the best turned out winner, light blue jacket, is keen in behind them. Furthest from us in the blue and white on the cap is Rabbar. The blue and orange is Aesop Fables. He'd be just about in 4th position. Then Rumstar, the light blue and yellow. Noble Style, the favourite, is the back marker of these 7 runners, as already they move down to the halfway stage. It continues to be Shaquille and James Doyle, who have a narrow advantage over Desert Cop, running in 2nd position. Then Rabbar, blue and white on the cap, towards the right in 3rd. Noble Style is still last as they go past the 2 furlong marker. Rousing Encore, Rumstar and Aesop's Fables behind those. Shaquille heads down then to the final furlong. Desert Cop in 2nd position. These are pulling clear now from Rabbar and then Aesop's Fables. It's still Shaquille out in front, a length and a half the margin, and it's going to be a winning one. Shaquille and James Doyle have won. Desert Cop is in 2nd. Noble Style has joined Aesop's Fables. It's very tight for those, but only for 3rd and 4th.
Shaquille wins the listed Carnarvon Stakes at 100-30 for James Doyle and Julie Camacho in the colours of the owners Hughes Rawlings and O'Shaughnessy. 2nd was Desert Cop at 33-1. What a performance from Shaquille, who goes from strength to strength and gives the Julie Camacho team a fabulous success here at Newbury on Lockinge Day. This horse was not for beating, went to the front and given a positive ride by James Doyle. He was able to keep up the momentum and backs up that fantastic victory at Newmarket in what was just an ordinary handicap at least, and he was up a good few pounds, but they pitched him here in this listed race. He had to beat off some serious group performers, and he does it in the style of a very good one.
Well, Shaquille has won the Carnarvon, assistant trainer.
Able to understand because he's like an old bumper horse walking around the place. Doesn't take a home. In 2 or 3 race scallops did a stalls test on him. You know, when he's come down south, James has jumped on him, and Graham's been very gracious and helped James, as I'd expect from Graham, who's the ultimate professional. So it's all coming together slowly, step by step. That's what we wanted to do, and today's another good day.
Royal Ascot next.
We'll speak to Martin. It's heading that way, isn't it? Yeah. I think you're going to Group 2 next week, the Sandy Lane, isn't there? Today.
It was Yibir, the proven Group 1 performer, who went off the 9-4 favourite.
They're off. They race with 1.5 miles here for this Al Rayyan Stakes. As they leave the starting stalls, Kamari is the first to show in front. Has the advantage, so rather free-going Old Arabian in the red colours, fighting to go faster than his rider allows. Bolshoi Bali in dark blue is next. The blue and white halfway down the field is Isra, who won the Best Turned Out award. Then Hazkoi, green, pink and white colours, about 2 lengths behind her, to Garci in the yellow, and the all-royal blue of Ibia is at the rear of the field as they make their way down then after around about 3 furlongs, and it continues to be Kamari. James Doyle with a white cap has the advantage. Oisin Murphy in red on Old Arabian towards the rails. One off the rails, dark blue for Ryan Moore on Bolshoi Ballet. Frankie Dettori is next. Hazkoi, a pink cap towards the running rail, and then the blue and white on the cap is Isra, the Best Turned Out winner with Jim Crowley. A yellow jacket, Garcia and Tom Marquand, and then Ibia and William Buick, the back marker of the 7, as they move past the halfway stage, move down the side of the course. Between them, they've won £4.2 million. 3/4 of that has been won by the one in the blue on the right at the rear, Ibia. Heading towards the home turn, his stablemate Kamari continues to have the advantage. He's almost 2 lengths ahead. Old Arabian running in 2nd place as they come to the turn into the straight. 1.5 lengths behind a Bolshoi Bali in 3rd. Isra and Hazkoi are together in 4th and 5th places. These are followed by Ibia, races the near side of Garcia as they head past the 4 furlong pole. And still out in front is Kamari, continues to bowl along with well over a length advantage. The white face of Old Harrovian running in second. Bolshoi Bali is encouraged along in third place. Hazkoi getting closer, the pink cap. On the left is Isra, behind him is Ibir, is having to work quite hard at the moment. Garcia is behind those. They are approaching the final 2 furlongs now. Kamari in front of Bolshoi Bali and Old Harrovian. Ibir is next, trying to come on the outside. He's preceded by Isra. A big run from him as Bolshoi Ballet and Ryan Moore lead at the furlong pole. 2 in second position is Isra. Ibir is next. Hazkoi flashing home on the far side with Frankie. Running up towards the line. 3 in line. Hazkoi against the running rail. Isra on the outside. Hazkoi to Isra. Between them Bolshoi Ballet. Ibir was only 4th.
Hazkoi lands the Al Stakes at 5-2 for Frankie Dettori, Rafe Beckett and owners Juddmonte. Second Isra at 7-1. Well, this was a very taking performance from Hazkoi, the filly, on her first start of the new season. She was given quite a good ride here by Frankie Dettori, who didn't have that many gaps to choose from. Coming to the final 100 yards or so, it was Bolshoi Ballet who had the race at his mercy, but the gap just appeared in time for Frankie Dettori and Hazkoi. She picks up comfortably. She's a filly who's clearly thrives at this trip and further. It'll be very interesting to see if Connections take up a Gold Cup option next time out.
Barry Mann of Juddmonte Farms joins me with Hazkoi.
She had a lot of problems at 2. She didn't go into training until a few weeks before her debut at 3. She obviously won on the all-weather first.
Agenda?
Yeah, definitely. I think all them, 12, 14 furlong fillies races throughout the year, and look, she beat the coach.
Desert Hero, who went off the 4-1 favourite.
They're off. They race away. Coming out of the stalls, Ithaca's Arrow in 8 was messing around, and because of that misses the break and is towards the back of the field. Desert Hero is one of the first to show. Old Smoke against the running rail on the extreme left is the best turned out winner, Royal Rhyme, and maybe preceding him is Loyal Touch. Forza Timau in violet colours right in behind the leaders. Have Secret in the black jacket against the running rail to Bertinelli. Behind these is Liber Powder, Mr. Mistopheles and Ithaca's Arrow. They're followed by Bold Act, who's now just gone ahead of Ithaca's Arrow, then Raintown, and the yellow of Exoplanet is at the rear of the field as they move down the side of the course in this Bet Victor London Gold Cup. And it is Desert Hero leads, be about a half length ahead. Loyal Touch in blue and white running in second. Old Smoke in black and orange is next. The yellow of Royal Rhyme with him. Forza Timau between those, a half length further back, showing in 5th position. Purple and white then for the chestnut Bertinelli. Around the outside of the black jacket of Had Secret. In red, Cool Party, and pink, Mr. Mistopheles. These are followed by Liber Powder and Bold Act together just ahead of Ithaca's Arrow. Then Raintown, and Exoplanet is right at the rear of the field as they head down with half mile to go. And it's still Desert Hero has a very narrow advantage. Loyal Touch in second position. Royal Rhyme to the left in yellow, coming into it strongly. Old Smoke and Have Secret behind those. Ithaca's Arrow a run on the extreme right against the running rail. Bertinelli is next. Look out on the left. Exoplanet. He just stumbled, but he was coming with a good run. Raintown at the back of the field. Heading to the 2 mark. Oh, this is wide open. Desert Hero and Loyal Touch to Exoplanet on the extreme left. Royal Rhyme is there. Still Forza Timau staying on. Have Secret against the running rail. Old Smoke is still there. Bertinelli with a chance. Inside the final furlong they go. Any one of 6 could win this. Nearest to us, Exoplanet. Bertinelli in the purple with him. Have Secret against the running rail. Bold Act in the blue. Bertinelli, Bold Act, Exoplanet in company with those was Have Secret.
Bertinelli wins the London Gold Cup at 9-2 for Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien in the colours of Derek Smith for the joint owners, Mrs. John Magnier, Michael Tabor and the Westerberg. Second Bold Act at 10-1 and third Exponent at 5-1. Well, the handicapper will be pretty pleased with his assessment of this race as this field finished in a complete bunch, but it was Bertinelli who was able to stick his neck out to give Aidan O'Brien his first win in this race. The son of Justify was coming here off the back of a second in just his third race at Cork, which came in April, and Aidan O'Brien team chose to go this handicap route, but this race has thrown up some serious group performers going forward, and you expect him and the first 3 home to go forward in that manner. It was the Group 1 Al Shakab Lock-in Stakes next for 4-year-olds and upwards, and the market changed right up until the last moment. Modern Games, the Breeders' Cup winner, looking to add a domestic Group 1 to his CV. He was the 3-1 favourite.
They're off. The Al Shakab Lock-in Stakes is underway. Muda Sabek is the first one to begin. Chindid in the centre in black, and the yellow nearest to us of My Prospero also showing in a prominent position. Laurel is the pink cap, giving chase to Muda Sabek more towards the far side of the course. Check and Challenge and also Jadumi race off towards the right. Meanwhile, My Prospero, Lucelle and Chindid lead towards the left. Behind those in blue is Modern Games. Berkshire Shadow in red and white behind those. Then Light Infantry and Jumbie, and the Wizard of Eye is fractionally the back marker as they make their way already down to halfway. Muda Sabek towards the right, blue and white jacket. Laurel is immediately tracking him. Chindid is down the centre with black sleeves. Towards the left in yellow, My Prospero with the silver jacket of Lucille. These are then followed by Jadumi, yellow off towards the right. In the centre in the pink is Check and Challenge, then Berkshire Shadow. Modern Games, a blue jacket towards the left, being asked to pick up the Wizard of Eye and Light Infantry behind those. They can see the 2 furlong marker. Muda Sabek still has the advantage. Laura's in second position. Chindid is still there. Lucille running a bid race. Then My Prospero and Modern Games in the blue nearest to us delivering his challenge. Berkshire Shadow behind that, but it's Chindid at the furlong pole. Chindid has the advantage. Here comes Modern Games in the blue. Muda Sabek behind those, and then Lucille as they race towards the line. William Buick and Modern Games come through to win the Al Shakab Lock-ins. Chindid is next to Berkshire Shadow, My Prospect, Muda Sabek, Light Infantry and Lucille.
Modern Games stamps his authority on the mile division and wins at 3-1 for William Buick, Charlie Appleby and Godolphin. Second was Chindid at 22-1 and third was Berkshire Shadow at 33-1. While the miling division was looking to find a new superstar for the retirement of Baid, and it was Modern Games hoping to get his season back on track after a defeat at heavy odds last time out at Keeneland. But this Breeders' Cup winner just shows his class here, running down Chindid late on. He ran a blinder to finish place in this race for the second time. Didn't like the fact that Modern Games came past a cheeky nip at William Buick's hand as he came past the line, but that wasn't enough to stop this horse, and he looks to have all the miling big targets ahead of him.
Well, William Buick has been to the top level in North America with Modern Games and now done it on UK shores as well. You must be delighted with that. Well done.
Yeah, delighted. I'm delighted for the horse. You know, he's been top class all through his career since he was a 2-year-old. So he's a real top class miler, and you know, it's just great that you kind of forget that this is his first Group 1 win in this country. You know, so delighted for him to do that. You know, that's something that he really deserved after running so close to Baid in the Sussex last year.
Were you always happy throughout this race?
Yeah, very happy. Yeah, delighted. You know, you always any time when you're drawn on the wing, right on the outside, even on the straight track, you're always relying on pace around you. But he's a very versatile horse. He doesn't really need. He can make things happen around him rather than relying on other things to happen. But the pace was with us, and we were sort of always had tabs on the horses drawn low. So I was quite comfortable throughout, and he was responding very well to everything I asked him.
And what have you learned about him throughout his career? I guess in particular, say at Ascot on the straight mile, regards to coming here. Have you learnt a bit about him?
He's very straightforward.
Yeah.
He's a very straightforward horse. You know, there's no real sort of idiosyncrasies with him. You know, he's just he's a very, very good horse, top class miler, and he's very straightforward.
One of the biggest talking points is the fact that Chindid took a little chunk out of your hand. I mean, has that ever happened to you?
No, not that I can remember, not that I can think of. Certainly not in a race of that nature.
No.
But he proper had a go.
He did.
No, look, it was nothing bad happened to horse or jockey or anything. So just one of those things that you don't expect.
Right, I don't want to finish on a low point, but just give me a line earlier on Noble Style and your beer if you can, please.
Yeah, the winner's credit to the winner. You know, I think he's a pretty good horse. Noble Style coming back to 6 furlongs after a decent run in the Guineas. Probably a length too far back. And I think after that today, he might just learn to sprint again. So he's still a horse who I think needs to learn a fair bit. So I see what Charlie and the team think, whether they'll stick to 7 or step him up to stick to 6 furlongs or step him up to 7 for Royal Ascot. We'll see.
And your beer will just take a big step forward for that, won't he?
He will. No, he will. I'm very happy with him. You know, it was a good race. You know, the Hasco sets a very good standard, and he'll come forward for that run.
Well done, Modern Game.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks, Will.
12 runners lined up for the Bet Victor handicap, and Kingdom Come has looked very impressive on the all-weather throughout the winter months. Could he transfer it to the turf? He was the 7-2 favourite.
They're off. A race with a mile here for this Bet Victor handicap. They leave the starting stalls. On the extreme left is the best turned out winner, Outbreak, in a blue jacket. Off towards the right in orange, Bear Force 1. Gives a lead there to Kingdom Come in the red and yellow, Unforgotten in blue. And with those on the extreme right is Bless Him in the yellow. Outbreak's rather by himself on the extreme left. The almost white horse, Al Reeb, is with him. Top Secret, black, white and red colours. Wanese in blue and white, the light blue of Atrium. Another yellow jacket is Beringer, and Intelligent in purple is at the back of that group, as now they've left Bear Force 1 all alone towards the centre of the course in the orange. He has about a length advantage maybe to Al Reeb running in second, Outbreak and Top Secret and Kingdom Come are next. Wanese behind these two, Atrium and Unforgotten and Sunny Liston. Then comes Beringer and Bless Him, and Intelligent is next as they head down past the halfway stage. On the right is Bear Force 1. To the left, probably the grey, Al Reeb leading there. With him, Kingdom Come in the red and yellow, coming to deliver his challenge as they come to the 2 furlong marker. Top Secret is next. Outbreak on the extreme left, still there with a chance. Atrium and Sunny Liston behind those. Unforgotten starting to stay on as well. Heading down towards the last furlong now, and it's Top Secret. Unforgotten in blue coming with a challenge. Kingdom Come and Bear Force 1 are still there with a chance as well. Outbreak nearest to us. Bear Force 1 in the orange and black. Race by himself down the centre, it's going to pay off. Bear Force 1 beat Top Secret, very tight third, with the blue jacket of Unforgotten and Kingdom Come in the red and yellow.
Bear Force 1 wins at 22-1 for Oisin Murphy, Roger Teal and Joe Bear Racing. Second was Top Secret at 16-1 and third was Unforgotten at 10-1. Bear Force 1 was coming down the middle of the track, completely isolated on his own, and, well, the draw bias suggested that's not where you want to be, but it didn't stop this horse, who puts up a big performance back in the winner's enclosure for the first time on turf for a long time indeed. He was last seen a winner here at Newbury back a couple of years ago. He's been winning on the all-weather. This was a little bit of a surprise. He was having to prove himself after finishing down the field in an apprentice handicap at Ascot last time, but he's back to his best today.
Roger Teal trains Bear Force 1, who's won here again, and, well, he cut a lone figure initially.
I've been taking him to certain ones do.
Interesting. Where next? What next?
Probably going to have a break now because, like I say, he doesn't really cope with the hotter weather. So we're...
For Ross Ryan and Rafe Beckett was the 11-10 favourite.
They're off. A mile and 2 furlongs to chip here for this Arro de Bouquetot fillies trial. We're dropping in towards the rear of the field early on. Cloud Breaker, Rich in the red, stays little wide on the course as the light blue of Scenic in company with the dark blue of Warm Heart are the first two. Rich is ahead of them and wide of them. LeMay in the green and white stripes is next, and then a red cap for Crack of Light against the running rail. Behind her, purple sleeves of Cloud Breaker. And then Polypod in the pink jacket, pale colours right against the rail, the winner of the Best Turned Out Award. And the favourite blue stocking is Lush. She'd be about 10 lengths behind Rich and Pat Dobbs, who head down the side of the course with a lead of a couple of lengths over Scenic, probably just about in second. Holly Doyle around the outside of Ryan Moore and dark blue on Warm Heart. LeMay and Kieran Schumacher's next, and then Tom Marquand on Crack of Light against the rails, black and white jacket and red cap. Slowing them up in front, they begin to bunch up. Pale colours, Oisin Murphy, Polly Pop. Races on the inside of James Doyle and Cloud Breaker. Ross O'Ryan, a pink cap on blue stocking, continues to be the back marker. They're already past halfway. Heading to the final 4 furlongs. Rich continues to lead. Goes on by a length and a half again to Scenic, running in second, and Warm Heart in third. LeMay behind those. Look to the left. Blue stocking beginning her move from the back of the field. Crack of Light is off to the running rail. Then Polly Pod, and behind her is Cloud Breaker. But as they go past the 3 marker, they're well bunched, it's still Rich, but being taken on by Scenic. Here's LeMay, the green and white on the left, Blue Stocking still getting closer. Coming with her from the back is Cloudbreaker, as well as they head down inside the final two. Warm Heart and Blue Stocking now. Between the pair is Cloud Seeker. Scenic is next into the closing stages, and Warm Heart in the dark blue trying to fend off a challenger, Blue Stocking. There's very little between these fillies. Warm Heart just in front. Blue Stocking trying to get back to her as they race towards the line. Warm Heart and Blue Stocking very tight. Crack of Light was 2 lengths behind him in third, and then Cloudbreaker.
Warm Heart wins at 5-2 for Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien, giving the Connections a double on the card. Blue Stocking was second, the 11-10 favourite, and third was Crack of Light at 15-2. Well, this always turns out to be a very informative race with some regally bred fillies on show. None less than this daughter of Galileo, Warm Heart, who came into this with a opportunity of upgrading her form. She was a winner of a maiden filly stakes at Leopardstown last time. This was a different kettle of fish, and she responds to the challenge in good style. She's clearly got the guts that her sire throws to her, his progeny, and is able to see off the challenge of Blue Stocking in second.
Paul Smith joins me to reflect on all in all a good day, I think it's fair to say, and Warm Heart has won the Arras to Pukto. Well done. She's got a lovely attitude.
She's got a really, really nice attitude. She's an improving filly, and Ryan was delighted.
Very competitive, 5-1 the field. Sir Thomas Gresham just edging Leap Abroad.
They're off. They get away from stall number 12. Windsor Pass rears and misses the break, and Popmaster was slow into stride as well. Twilight Madness is the first one to get away, has the advantage to Let Me Live My Life and Sir Thomas Gresham and Dig 2. Epsom Faithful not far behind to Under the Twilight as well. Showbiz is the green jacket towards the right to Sir Oliver and Amazonian Dream and Sergeant Tibbs. Magnificent in behind those. Then comes Capote's Dream, Bernard O'Reilly in the centre from Treacherous. Further behind these are Plum and Popmaster, and having missed the break, Windsor Pass is the back marker. Leap Abroad towards the left in the light blue, sent through to challenge Sir Thomas Gresham. Twilight Madness in the red is still there. Behind these is Under the Twilight. Popmaster on the left trying to get into it. Showbiz in the green jacket is still there. Sergeant Tibbs behind these. Sir Thomas Gresham and Leap Abroad, they've had a great duel in front. They're still there together. Under the Twilight and Showbiz, and behind those Treacherous is running on in the closing stages. Sir Thomas Gresham has taken the advantage. Running towards the line, Showbiz is the final challenger. Showbiz getting up to Sir Thomas Gresham, Under the Twilight, Leap Abroad and Treacherous.
Showbiz wins the closer at Newbury on Lochinstay at 8-1 for William Buick and Charlie Hill. Second, Sir Thomas Gresham, the 5-1 favourite. Third, Under the Twilight at 22-1, and fourth was Leap Abroad at 11-2. Well, the Charlie Hills team have been going great guns this early part of the season, and Showbiz steps forward from his third place effort on his seasonal reappearance at Goodwood earlier this month with a nice turn of foot to go past the favourite Sir Thomas Gresham. Gives William Buick, riding with so much confidence, a double on the card. And this horse, who was coming here of what looked to be quite a nice handicap mark, has got a third win to his name. Lochinstay never fails to disappoint. It was going to be informative, and it certainly was, in the shape of Haskoy. Will she be Gold Cup bound next? We'll be hopefully finding out soon if her win in what was a very competitive Al Ryan Stakes will give her that opportunity. But it was Modern Games who took home the Al Shakab Lochinge Stakes. He did it in a very good time of 1 minute 36.09 seconds to add a domestic Group 1 to his glittering array of successes throughout the continent.